Welcome to Therapist Reacts Raw, where my producer gives me something that I've never seen before that has to do with relationships or mental health, and then I react without any prep time. So we're gonna do Heartstopper. Nick comes out to his mum, so I'm guessing this is British, because it says mum instead of mom, and it's on Netflix. I know nothing about this.
Mom.
Mm-hmm.
You know Charlie's like my best friend.
If you're going to ask if he can come on our Menorca holiday this year, the answer's no, because I've already booked the ticket.
No, that's not what I was going to say.
It's a beautiful bit of acting there.
He's my boyfriend. Charlie's my boyfriend.
I've talked to a lot of people that even if they feel like they're going to get a good response or a welcoming response or a loving response, it's still, you know, that moment where you're on the edge of the precipice and you're just like, do I go? Do I say it? Do I do it? Because the risk is so great. You know, what if it doesn't go well? You know, I mean, I don't know anything about her character, but just seeing the way that when he starts, he says, you know, Charlie's my friend. She goes, yeah. And she goes into this thing and he says, it's not that. And then she can see that he's hesitating and she stops what she's doing and she gives him her full attention. And there is, you know, already warmth and acceptance in her body language of a go on, you know, whatever it is that's hard for you to say, go ahead and say it. And when he just said he's my boyfriend, you could see the softening and the warmth in her. And so my guess, having not seen the show, I could be completely off and you'll let me know in the comments. Or maybe the rest of the clip will play out in a different way than I think it's going to play out. My guess is that he was fairly confident this conversation would go well, but it's still hard. It's still terrifying.
I still like girls, but I like boys too. And me and Charlie, we're going out. And I just wanted you to know.
So I like that she doesn't interrupt, even as he's fumbling for his words, even as he's trying to find what he wants to say, how he wants to say it. And she doesn't look at him like this, you know, which would make the whole thing much more uncomfortable. She looks at him with acceptance and, you know, tears in her eyes. I really hope this scene doesn't go like the opposite direction that I think it's going. We'll see.
Oh, baby. Oh, thank you for telling me. I'm sorry if I ever made you feel like you couldn't tell me that. You don't have to say you like girls if you don't.
No, it's definitely not just guys. It's called bisexuality, if you've heard of that.
Yeah, I've heard of that. I wasn't born in the 18th century. How long have you known?
Well, me and Charlie started going out a couple months ago, but I started liking him way before that.
A natural response as a parent, even if she's accepting of her son's sexuality, is to be hurt that he didn't tell her before. Why didn't you trust me? Why didn't you say something? And she immediately leads with, I'm sorry if I ever made you feel that you couldn't tell me that. And it's just very healthy and very beautiful and very wholesome. And she's not taking responsibility because she doesn't know, but she's just opening the door if he needs to have that conversation with her.
Oh, I love you. Oh.
Hi.
So before we go into his relationship with Nick and Charlie, she says, I love you, and she hugs him. You know, I am not a member of the LGBT community, and so I can't speak on this from my experience, but I've been aware of some of the chatter around media and television shows and movies and how the coming out experience is portrayed. And some people, you know, take umbrage at scenes like this because they say it undercuts and underplays how difficult it is and how traumatic it is when your family rejects you or when your family is awful to you. And others say, no, this is good. Show what it's like. Show what it's like to come out to somebody and they're warm and loving and accepting. Model that for viewers, especially because there are people who that is their experience. You know, they come out to a parent, they come out to a family member, they come out to a friend, and they're treated with respect and with the same amount of love, or maybe even more than they had before. For others, that's not their experience. And this can be hard for them to watch. It can also be healing. You know, they can experience vicariously something they unfortunately didn't get to experience in real life.
And now we're gonna tell people?
Yeah.
It's a decision they're making together. Now that I'm watching this, I remember that I have heard of Heartstopper. People are saying this is a really wholesome, really sweet LGBT plus show, you know. And I think that's a beautiful thing. I mean, my remembrance of, for so long, a lot of media for that community was, you know, pretty strong R-rated or TV mature rated, you know, very sexually graphic, things like that. And the people who were already a part of that community or who already supported that community were more prone to watch that type of media. I remember when Modern Family came out, Jesse Tyler Ferguson talked about that. He said that this show is a Trojan horse that is designed to get people who are more traditional to just see what our love is like, right? And so Modern Family came out and it was more family friendly, and it was more just sweet and wholesome, and it worked for a lot of people, you know, to see two husband and wife couples and one husband couple, and just to see their relationships and the similarities between them. And you know, I'm not saying there isn't a place for those who like kind of the harder, edgier stuff, but we're living in an era where you can see LGBT couples on shows that are designed for teenagers, you know. This seems like a show that's geared at teens, that they can see themselves in those couples, that they can see themselves there, and that is beautiful and healing for them. I love it. Also, are jorts back in? Okay, guys, I can't keep up. I'm looking at jorts and calf socks, and I was under the distinct impression that jorts and calf socks were out. Like, I literally just changed my whole wardrobe to get rid of all that stuff, and now they're back in. This is why dads don't change their wardrobe. This is why we just dress however we want to dress, because if I'm out of fashion, I can wait 10, 15 years and it'll be back in fashion. And I don't mind the wait. 15 years at my age goes by pretty fast. This is really sweet. What else would you like me to respond to? What else would you like me to react to? Let me know in the comments below. What do you think of how Nick came out to his mom, how she responded, and how he and, is it Charlie? I believe his boyfriend's name is Charlie, how he and Charlie are making these decisions together. Have you had an experience along those lines? Was it a positive? Did it blow up in your face? What did that look like? Let us know in the comments below. Speaking of just adorable gay couples, Patrick and David from Schitt's Creek, we've got an episode where I react to their love story. Check that out right here. Until next time, folks, keep shining. We need your light. And there's that video right here. Patrick and David. Oh, it's wholesome as hell. Wholesome AF, folks. Wholesome AF.